Hi, and welcome to Cinema Figures. I'm your host, Caitlin, and yes, I know it has been a minute since I've been on this channel. I've been super busy, but I am here today to discuss some amazing news that has just dropped. Of course, we all know that I am a horror fan, aka a horror if you want to go that way, but Bloody Disgusting and a number of other different news outlets have just dropped the fact that we are getting another Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So this is going to be another kind of reboot, relaunch, what have you, sequel, adjacent type thing. However, of course, like every other reboot we've had before, they're going to ignore everything out of each one of the different continuities of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, with the exception of the original Tobe Hooper 1974 classic. So, of course, we've had this before. We had this, the original incarnation. We had this with the relaunch with Jessica Biel, which led into the beginning. We had that god-awful Next Generation before that. And most recently, we had Texas Chainsaw 3D and Leatherface, which is actually really confusing if you realize that the third Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie was actually called Leatherface. Just saying, what kind of Leatherface movie is it where you don't actually have Leatherface in it? Anywho. So, relaunch, reboot. Now, this is going to be a direct sequel. I know a number of people are speculating as to what's going on there. I'm telling you right now, I am here to talk about what I do and do not want to see out of this film. So, first off, let's start with the things that I definitely don't want to see in this film. I don't want it to take place in 2019, 2020. Okay, we had that with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, or Texas Chainsaw 3D, the Alexandra Daddario film. It had its issues. I don't understand how a child born during that timeline would still be in her early 20s. But okay, you know what, we can jump around, do whatever we want with that. A few simple fixes in that film could have been way better than what it was. But what I do want to see, I would like to see a film that takes place either in the 70s or the 80s. I don't want there to be a huge time gap. I don't want to see an elderly Leatherface. I'm sorry. I still want him to be young. I still want him to be strong. And I want to see that family. Everyone always thinks of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yes, they think of Leatherface, the chainsaw-wielding man who literally wears his victim's face as skin masks. Yes, very iconic, very scary. However, he's not what makes Texas Chainsaw Massacre so good. It's the family aspect there. The Sawyers, the Draytons, depending on what exactly you want to call them in your own storyline, they're what makes this whole film franchise so scary. Nobody wants to mess with Drayton Sawyer. Nobody wants to mess with Chop Top. Chop Top especially. Shout out to All American Massacre, the film that apparently will never be released, unfortunately. I'm heartbroken about it. But it's the family aspect here. Leatherface, while yes, he is the icon, I want to see more of the Sawyers interacting with him. So don't throw away my family. Keep the family intact. Another thing is, a lot of people are saying that this should be a callback similar to what they did with the most recent 2018 Halloween. That would be great if our final girl hadn't died in 2014, unfortunately. So, you know, God rest your soul, Madam Miriam Burns. Fantastic final girl. Just trooper throughout that entire film, which honestly, the behind the scenes of that film, scarier than some of that actual film. Another thing that kind of leads into it is the original film. Why it's so scary, why it's still so iconic, is the fact that the overall sets were truly terrifying. Yes, There was real meat laying around. Yes, they were in crazy hot exposure. They had actual chicken bone sculptures all over the place. It was gritty, it was dark, and a big part of that was small budgets. So I don't want to see one of these big budgets just taking over my film with this big Hollywood actress and this big Hollywood star because they look good with their shirts off. No, I would like to see a couple of unknown no ones, to be completely honest. Let's go with film students like they did in the original. Why not? You can get some for real talent that's not there for just like, hey, this is my paycheck. No, I want someone who is going to work, who is going to actually devote themselves to this film. That is what I want. I want someone who is hungry for this film to work. Another thing, let's not make it a CGI crazy fest. Okay, let's make it practical effects. Let's get a for real stunt team in there to coordinate a lot of it. Let's get some realistic looking gore in there. Tom Savini, you know, maybe call him up because he's done some pretty awesome things. Also, moving on into the things that I'm definitely really hoping that they do. Let's get this filmed in Texas. It is called Texas Chainsaw Massacre, not Canadian Chainsaw Massacre, not Georgia with a Chainsaw Massacre, and it's definitely not Californian Chainsaw Massacre. You get what I'm saying here? I want real Texas sights. I want crazy armadillo on the side of the road. I want to see for real Texas zones and scenery throughout. That's what I want. Now, honestly, if you can keep this tight, if you can keep a for real cast that is just hungry and wanting to make this work, that is putting their all into it, like we got with the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, I will wholeheartedly give this my seal of approval. I'm super pumped that they are continuing with it. I'm excited. I want to see where this goes. This could be a fantastic step in a brand new direction for this franchise, especially with the producer that has now been typed onto it, Alvarez, who directed Don't Breathe and Evil Dead. Evil Dead was a little meh for me, but I loved Don't Breathe. That was a fantastic film, and I'm excited to see what they do with this franchise. Like I said, give me a young Leatherface. Give me that family aspect. Give me true horror from unknown actors who I can actually see in this. I don't want to see a brand new Brad Pitt. I don't want to see this person or that person. I want to see hungry-faced nobodies in this role. I want to be truly scared, and I want to see the grit. I want to see the carnage. I want to be horrified by this film. And in a good way, not in a bad way. But that is it for this episode of Cinema Figures. Please do give me a like if you like this video, comment below, and tell me what you would like to see out of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot or brand new sequel, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, please do subscribe to my channel for more movie and film content. We got a lot of crazy things coming up in the meantime. Also, if you notice, we have a brand new set here on Cinema Figures. Yeah, that's right. We are moving away from the Catherine Figures set, which is still alive right over there. But brand new set for this channel. Also, please do check out any of the older videos I have up for offer here on Cinema Figures. And until next time, I'm your host, Caitlin. Bye.